Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today we're going to review Mack. Mack is one of the latest characters here in Rogue Company, and I've had a chance to really dive in and play him, and I'd like to just review how you can best master Mack, how to best play Mack, how to really make a contribution on your team utilizing the character Mack. He's an absolute Scottish badass. He comes with some pretty unique powers, and those powers make him important and potentially a very influential player on your team, a very influential player in every match he's in. And so if you can master him, you can do a really good job with Mack. So we're going to review that today. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I'm X1 the Gamer. We're dropping Rogue Company videos each and every single week. So if you haven't yet, like, subscribe to us, and join us. Okay, so first up, let's go over Mack's loadout. He has as his ultimate light bomb. Now this is a device that he plants that charges up and launches a massive flashbang in the air that basically hits everybody in the area if they're not behind a wall or if they're not taking cover. It's very, very effective when done correctly, which gives him this AoE ability to really affect an area that the enemy is trying to hold, particularly in demolition, which makes his ability very, very valuable if you know how to use it correctly. The weapons that he comes with are pretty interchangeable. I don't really have a favorite here. I've used both Conviction and Objection here, which is an LMG and an SMG. The nice thing about the LMG is Mack is a tanky character, and so with Conviction, you got such a big loadout, you never have to reload. You can get multiple kills before having to reload, and it makes you just a very valuable player that way. Like, you don't think about having to reload as a huge issue, but when you're a tanky player and you've got extra health like Mack does, not having to reload with Conviction is super powerful. On the other hand, he does have the Objection SMG, which is the best SMG in the game, in my opinion. One of my favorite SMGs. It's the same SMG that Dahlia has and absolutely melts people. So it's up to you. It's up to you how you'd like to play. The LMG does have a little bit more range. The SMG close-up is probably a little bit more powerful because of the rate of fire, but both are great choices. You can really choose any gun you want here and have just as dominant of an experience if you're playing correctly. Now, he has a unique melee weapon. This is the Great Sword, and I don't normally equip melee weapons, but I have lately only because the Great Sword is such a cool melee weapon. But again, I don't think melee weapons are a huge part of the game right now, and so I wouldn't necessarily equip the Great Sword. I'm just mentioning it because it's unique, it's cool, I like it. Now, he does have a just classic normal grenade, along with also the option to have the active protection system. This is the same active protection system that Anvil has, which really adds to his tankiness. I like to use grenades myself because I'm more of an offensive player with Mack. However, if you're a defensive player and you want to take your time and play more of a defensive tank role, the active protection system I think would be a better choice in that case, because it's just a valuable tool whenever it's put down and can really help you out. So that's his loadout. Let's go through the perks. Now, he does have one of the most valuable perks, I think, in the game, and that is Standard Issue. Now, this Standard Issue perk gives him 25 armor starting out with. You don't have to add anything, don't have to do anything additional. He begins with 25 armor. Not only that, whenever you down a player, your armor is instantly repaired. That's huge. That makes you very, very tanky, and I love it. When talking about perks, I like to apply perks that add to that tankiness, right? If I'm gonna play a tank character, let's make him as tanky as I can. It's why I like to use first the bounce back perk. This reduces your health regeneration delay, so you can get shot and then heal up faster, which again makes him tanky. I also like to use replenish. This is where when you down an enemy, it reloads your weapons. I just think it's valuable to have. And finally, toughen up. This reduces melee damage. Now, I don't really come across a lot of melee damage, but if you are playing defense, occasionally you'll come across it. And so any chance you have to just make him a little bit more tanky, I'll take those options. However, the first one that I always pick in this situation is bounce back, just because if you can reduce that health regeneration delay, then you can get back in the fight faster than your opponent, and you get that shield, that 25 armor, particularly if you down someone, and you're good to go. So how do you play with Mack? Well, he's a tank. On offense or defense, he's a tank. Remember that. Remember, you've got more life, you've got more armor than your opponent, and you can do that. I actually think he's a great counter to DPS characters like Chalk or Scorch. So when I try to go up against my opponent's DPS characters to nullify them, to take them out of the game, and to have an effect and help out my team as much as possible. His Flashbang ability has amazing range. The only thing I would say here is you are going to want to play a couple strike out matches before you jump into demolition with him, just to get used to his ultimate. Get used to how his Flashbang ability, Light Bomb, actually works, because it is a little bit tricky. You are going to want to know placement, when to place, how to place, when to unload, how to unload. And so I would jump into Strikeout. I think that's the best place to learn that, to see the effect on people. You could also go to Training Grounds, obviously, and see like, okay, how does this work behind a wall? How does this work out in the open? At what point is it most powerful? Stuff like that. But it's really powerful, especially on offense, I think, if you're trying to push and capture an objective, if you're trying to push and plant a bomb somewhere and you want to push the defense out of an area, then you plant that, it goes off on anybody that's not taking cover, and you can then push with your team. It's a fantastic ability as long as you get to know it correctly. So make sure you practice it. That's Light Bomb. He's a tank, ultimately, so don't be afraid to play him like a tank. Use his area of effect ability, Light Bomb, to push with your team, and then support your team by countering DPS players. That's how you're going to have the biggest effect with Mack. That's how you're going to be the best player you could be with Mack and have the best effect on your team with Mack. He gets that extra armor, recognize that, and use it to your advantage. And that's it for now. I like Mack. I think he's a very valuable player. I think he's almost like a paladin, and I like paladins. I like paladins in MMO, if for those of you that know paladins, and I really enjoy playing him. So if that helps you, play him like a paladin, and that's what I would do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I'm X1 the Gamer. We're dropping videos every single week. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you next time.
45 seconds, and this one's ours.